How's it going, boys? We're calling this part 0 of our new series of Complete Beginners Guide to Galaxy of Heroes. And I'm calling it part 0 because this is really more about whether or not you should play Galaxy of Heroes in 2024. What kind of is the game like for a complete beginner, for somebody that knows nothing about the game? What is the game like? Is it worth playing? Maybe you just saw, oh, this is a Star Wars game. Should I play it? Should I not? And so we're going to answer three key questions in this video. We're going to look at what is the actual point of the game. What are we doing on a day-to-day basis? And then I have some general warnings that I want to give you about the game. And I'll preface all this by saying I love this game. I've been playing this game since 2016, off and on, and that's one of the things I've loved about the game, is that it doesn't require you to play it consistently. If you want to take breaks from it, please, by all means, do that. It's too many people, I think, get too hung up on just wanting to play the game so much or getting addicted to the game, and honestly, I don't think that's the best way to play the game. So, first off, what is the point of the game? What are we trying to achieve? And there's a couple different things, and one of the ones that I'm going to start with is not the most popular, but I think it's a very fair and a very reasonable way to play the game. So obviously we're collecting heroes in this game. This game is all about collecting different Star Wars heroes and then battling them against one another. So I have a collection of a bunch of famous Star Wars heroes, and I'm sure you recognize a lot of these, and maybe there's a few that you say, oh, I don't really know who that is. But the idea is you're going to build these characters up over time, you're going to pair them together, and then you get different opportunities in a bunch of different game modes to battle them against each other. So I can come in here and I can fight against Emperor Palpatine and Darth Vader, and I can make Luke Skywalker fight Darth Vader, or I can take Imperial troopers like Iden Versio and Moff Gideon, make them fight against Emperor Palpatine and Darth Vader. And the game is all about the idea of collecting characters, growing them over time, and how that works is a lot of people want to be efficient and have the best characters, what's meta, but you don't have to play like that. If that's not your cup of tea, if that's not how you enjoy a game like this, you can just play by collecting your favorite Star Wars heroes. If you love Darth Vader and you really just want to collect Darth Vader, you go for it. Gungans are coming out in the game right now. If Jar Jar Binks is your favorite character, more power to you. Go get him and then collect him in the game. The game is not only about being efficient and competitive and playing against others and fighting. There's a collecting aspect to it, and if you have more enjoyment from the game of collecting your favorite characters, play it the way you want to play it. There's no one-size-fits-all for this game. Now, how I like to play the game and how a lot of people like to play the game is that more competitive aspect. There's a game mode in this game called Grand Arena, and most people I know compete in the game to be good at Grand Arena. You're growing characters, you're trying to be efficient, you're trying to get the best characters in the game, and we can talk all about how you grow characters, how you collect them, all that in the future, but really I just want to give you a super high level of what the game's actually like. So on a day-to-day basis, what are you doing in the game? How do you play? So you have a bunch of different characters, and usually what most people do is they're going to pick a few characters to start with. And so I have a tab right here where I have the characters I am working on collecting. And on a day-to-day basis, all I do is I come in here, I click on the character I'm looking for, I look to find where I can get them, and then I go and I sim the battles. So you can manually go in and fight this battle, and you'll go through waves of enemies with your team and fight against it in turn-based combat. Or you can, once you get 3 stars on any node in the game, you can just begin to sim that node. And that means basically just mock fighting it, doing the fight without actually having to do it. And so if I sim this, I can do it twice because of the amount of energy I have. I will get some shards of this character, Basilisk Shan. And so this is a lot of what you're doing in the game, I'll be honest. A lot of it is collecting, a lot of it is going to get gear, which is a very similar process to what we just did, and getting your characters to be stronger. The amount of time you spend collecting characters is often overshadowed by the amount of time you spend actually fighting with those characters. Now, obviously there's going to be events that come along where maybe you're doing a little more battling, or you're really stuck on something, so you're just trying to maximize it and you're running it a few times in order to get the battle to go just the way you want. But I'll be honest, a lot of the times throughout the game, you're just collecting and improving upon the characters that you have. So, what are the general warnings I have? Why did I preface the video with that? Everything in this game takes a long time. Getting characters takes a long time. Getting to max level takes a long time. So I'm on my free-to-play account here that I started back in October, and I still have not even hit the max level on your account. And the reason that's important is because I got this chart right here. So based on the stage of the game you're at, I'm trying to give you a general estimate of how long it takes to get there. So you can see here we have the tutorial of the game is what I call it, is before you hit level 85. And so I'm at level 83 on this account right now. I'm not even through what I would consider the tutorial of the game. That takes about 3 to 6 months, depending on how experienced you are and how often you're playing. And usually your total galactic power, which is just the total size of your roster, is going to be less than 1 million. And that number is kind of arbitrary for anyone that's new to the game, so you can really more focus on that time to reach. And again, that time to reach is if you're playing 100% free to play. You're not spending a dime on the game. Because if you do spend money on the game, you can go straight to level 85. It just costs $50 to do. And so I know that's not something a lot of people want to do. And so I'm trying to give you this in the estimates based on being completely free to play, not spending a dime on the game. And so these estimates, as you go further and further, can definitely change, especially those time estimates. 6 months to 2 years to get to that 1 to 3 million mark. Depending again on how efficient you are, how often you're playing, all of that. Your mid game, that's usually around 2 to 4 years, depending on exactly what you do and all of that. I would estimate late game around 4 to 6 years and is around that 5 to 10 million GP threshold. And that end game is when you get over that 10 million threshold, and it's usually over 6 years. Again, if you're spending money, it can go faster. If you're really efficient, it can go a little faster. And if you're not playing as often, it might go a little slower. So things in this game take a really long time. Even just leveling this account, I'm being efficient. I am doing my everything right, and it's still taking me months to do. And so just remember that if you're going to play Galaxy of Heroes, things go slow. And so I want to end off by talking about what I love about the game. Things I love about the game is, one, it's Star Wars. If you're a big Star Wars nerd like I am, you're going to enjoy the game. You get to take your favorite characters and battle them against one another. And they have Legends characters that you don't get to see anywhere else. Mara Jade, Starkiller, Darth Talon, Bane. Darth Bane just got added to the game. There's all kinds of characters that you just don't get to play any other game with. And obviously you can play Starkiller in a game, but you know what I'm saying, where you can't play all of them all together in any other place. And that's why I really love the game. Another reason I really love the game is because it's honestly very complex. Let's go into just one character's kit real quick. And you can see Darth Vader here has 6 abilities, each one with a decently sized description. And this is not even one of the most complex characters in the game by any means. And how all of these abilities play out with one another, the stats, and how your stats can play in against the other team, and how certain metas change and shift. It's a puzzle game, and it's a lot of fun to go in and try to figure out what team can work and can't work against other teams. And it really is a good time and has a lot of strategy involved. And there's a matter of being good at the game. And unfortunately, I am not good at the game. But all jokes aside, I really do love just being able to collect my favorite Star Wars characters and battle them against other characters. That's the core and the heart of the game, and the game is made by people who love Star Wars, honestly. Yes, they are money hungry at times, and certainly things cost a lot in this game, but things cost a lot in any mobile game you're going to play, and I will say Galaxy of Heroes is possible to play free to play. That's why I am doing it free to play, and I think it's a lot of fun to play. So if you're completely free to play, just keep in mind things take longer. You're not going to always have what you want to be able to do things quickly, but just be patient with it. Enjoy the game at your own pace and have fun with it. And if you're not having fun with it, drop it for a bit and come back to it when a character you like releases, or don't come back to it if you're really just not enjoying it. There's no pressure to have to log in every day. Obviously, you might excel a little faster if you do, and you might be a little further along, but in all reality, that doesn't matter so much in the long term. Missing a day here and there isn't going to screw you over so much. And really the important thing is having fun. That's the reason. It's a video game. You're supposed to have fun with it. And if you're not, then just drop it. It's not a big deal. But I really enjoy the game. I encourage you guys to try it out. And if you want to see more guides, more content, make sure you subscribe. This is only part 0 of our Complete Beginners Guide. We're going to continue to make different parts, and I'm hoping to have at least 1 or 2 parts coming out every single week, so that way we can get this guide for anybody that has nothing about the game all the way up to speed with just a few short videos. So appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, and we'll be back with another video soon. Appreciate you guys. Bye.